Out of Adversity, written by Elliot Stanton. Act 1, Scene 1, Exterior, Man-Made Trench, Daytime. Ypres, 1914. In a shallow trench, Private Cavendish, 19, him. Well-spoken and middle class, and Private Rudge, 19, him, a working-class Cockney, are the only British soldiers left alive from their platoon. Even though the German attack has been redirected, Cavendish is injured and unable to walk, so they're trapped.
So this is what we're left to defend ourselves with, a solitary stolen German grenade.
He repeatedly tosses the weapon in the air and catches it, as if he's practicing his juggling skills.
Are you plain stupid, man? Give that thing to me.
Cavendish leans forward and snatches it away. He carefully places it behind the wooden box he's sitting on.
I'd have rather gone over the top with everyone else than be left behind in a stinking trench with you.
I assure you the feeling is mutual, but with my leg shot to ribbons, it wasn't an option.
Convenient.
Convenient. You think I wanted hundreds of pieces of shrapnel to fly through the air and plant themselves into my thigh at 100 miles an hour? Damn fool.
Fool? Just because I'm working class, you assume I'm stupid, don't you? I wouldn't want to be anything like you if you paid me.
Oh, you're so comfortable in your inverted snobbery, aren't you?
And you, sitting there like Lord Muck, telling me what to do like you've rank over me. You'd like me to be your personal manservant, I shouldn't wonder. Well, I won't be that for anyone, especially a conceited posh boy like you.
If I could move freely without your assistance, I would.
Again, how convenient.
There he goes with the word convenient again. Besides, the captain's last order was for you to remain here in this trench.
Don't I know it?
To keep me company, light my cigars, and make me nice cups of tea.
Rudge fails to grasp the sarcasm. Cavendish's comment only serves to increase the resentment he feels.
Well, he's hardly in a position to put me on a charge if I disobey him now, is he? Poor sod. I suppose you believe you should be an officer, sitting behind a desk in a warm office directing affairs, not out here in the field fighting in armed combat like every other Tommy. You're a privileged, snooty toff.
Privileged? Snooty? Just because I have a little breeding, and my accent hasn't crawled out of the slums of East London, you assume that our officer class.
That's just what you sound like, posh boy. Couldn't Daddy find you a safe, cushy little number back in the home counties?
Cavendish takes offense at this suggestion and bites back.
Oh, do shut up. I volunteered, just like you did. You know something? Your type is simply fueled by petty resentment and jealousy. Without the wit, intelligence, or opportunity to achieve anything, you become obsessed with tearing down anyone who has done something with their lives. It's pathetic. You're pathetic.
You arrogant bastard. I'm going to knock your bloody block off.
Angry and vengeful, Rudge approaches Cavendish, but a shell explodes about 30 feet from the trench. He falls to the ground face first in the fetid, muddy water. Both men quickly get into crouched fetal positions, with hands covering their tin-helmeted heads. There are no more explosions, and Rudge continues his onslaught, but chooses to do it verbally.
I'd rather be pathetic and live my life amongst real people with real feelings, rather than have my entire miserable life mapped out in an arrangement, where maintaining a class system is far more important than individuality and free will.
Cavendish lifts his head and spits out earth from his mouth.
And yet here we are, a commoner and a toff, together in a bombed-out trench. Hasn't life worked out well for both of us? And for your information, as for my father possessing the influence to get me out of this, yes, I wish he did. There.
I knew it. What did I tell you?
Cavendish shakes his head, and after a deep intake of breath, he continues talking.
He owns a company dealing with importing luxury goods from around the world. He never has much time for me. He thought that joining the army would be the making of me, that I'll become someone he can be proud of. So that's why I joined up. Why I'm telling you this, heaven only knows.
Rudge sighs in concession.
Bit like my old man. I'll never see much of him either. Mind you, he doesn't run his own company. He's either down pub at a bowls club, anywhere but home. Hope when I come home he'll actually notice me.
Cavendish continues to expel his inner angst.
It'll make you a man, he'll say. Huh. It'll make me into mincemeat more like. It's just a skirmish. The Hun will be defeated within weeks. It's been 4 bloody months so far. I don't need to be sitting behind a desk in a warm office to know that. This could go on for years.
His face contorts with sudden excruciating pain.
Ah!
Cavendish grabs his crudely bandaged right leg.
You all right?
Yes. The pain comes and goes. I'll be fine. Thanks.
Cavendish then covers his face with his hands. Rudge can hear him sobbing softly.
No one knew it would come to this, Cavendish.
Some knew. Some wanted war. Needed it even.
No.
War rarely changes anything. It's merely a vehicle used to preserve the status quo.
Cavendish wipes his wet eyes, only managing to smear dirt further across his face.
But we're fighting to stop German supremacy in Europe. It's good versus evil, and they're evil.
Don't be so naive, Rudge. Our side want this war as much as they do. It's a power struggle that ultimately won't solve anything for very long. We're just collateral damage. That's all we are.
No, our government wouldn't do that to their own men. The Germans might, but not the British. We have standards.
Cavendish stares blankly at Rudge for a moment.
Standards, eh? We're still stuck in a bombed-out trench in a foreign land with hundreds of men blown to smithereens around us. They can shove their damned standards.
Don't say that.
Cavendish stares at Rudge, at the other end of the trench. His previous bombast has disappeared. He now looks like a frightened child.
At least the bombs have stopped.
Rudge turns his ear to the sky.
Oh, you're right. Maybe it's over.
Or maybe they're waiting for fresh ammo and men.
Cavendish instantly regrets his words.
Maybe you're right, though. Perhaps it's a ceasefire.
Yes.
Rudge makes his way down to Cavendish and sits beside him. He takes out a brass tin from inside his tunic and takes the lid off. Inside are 6 very tightly rolled cigarettes.
Smoke?
Cavendish reaches inside his tunic and removes an almost pristine pack of blended cigarettes.
Camels? How did you get hold of them?
One of the items my father imports is tobacco from America. It's my last pack.
See, I told you you're a privileged toff.
Both men chuckle to themselves. The mood is instantly lightened. Rudge takes out a smooth white stick from the packet, and Cavendish follows suit, then lights them. Both men take a long drag and perceptibly slump back onto the wall of the trench.
Sid.
They shake hands.
Tristram, don't. Just don't.
I wasn't going to say a thing.
Liar.
Cavendish's face breaks into a smile to match Rudge. They continue to enjoy their cigarettes.
Do you have a girl back home?
One or two. No one special, though. Sid Rudge is a bit of a legend in the slums of East London.
Lock up your daughters, eh?
Both men laugh.
And you? Is there a special girl in your life?
Cavendish takes a small, creased black and white photograph from his outside breast pocket.
There is. Lucinda.
He shows Rudge.
Beautiful lady.
She is. I miss her terribly. We're to be engaged this summer when... if...
Suddenly, a gruff British voice bellows from a short distance away.
Anyone alive out here? Anyone British?
The soldiers are shocked, yet delighted to hear the voice.
Yes, in this trench.
How many?
Just 2 of us, but one can't walk.
Righto. Don't worry, boys. Fritz has been kind enough to give us a little breather. I'll get some men in a stretcher and we'll have you out of there in 2 shakes. Just you stay put.
We ain't going nowhere.
Jolly good.
Cavendish and Rudge grasp each other's hands in celebration.
You see? Never give up hope. There's always hope.
Out of adversity.
Comes comradeship. Friends even.
Well, I wouldn't go that far, Rudge.
They both laugh, and Cavendish lights 2 more cigarettes. He puts one in Rudge's mouth. A single gunfire pierces the peace. Both men jump out of their skins. A shadow of a tall figure envelops the trench. Cavendish and Rudge gaze up to see a tall, smirking German soldier standing on the edge of the trench, gun in hand.
Out of adversity, eh?
Wouldn't you just know it?
The German jumps down into the trench and, without saying a word, pointing his rifle at the British soldiers.
Tristram,
Sid?
you won't make your old man proud.
Let's make both our old men proud.
The German cocks his rifle as Rudge carefully reaches down behind the box. Camera pans out of the trench. A moment of silence is destroyed by a massive explosion. The camera then zooms in to a nearby muddy puddle. A small photograph is floating in it.
Lucinda's monochromatic beauty continues to radiate unabated, blissfully unaware that her fiancé-to-be will never see another English summer. She'll never know of her boy's bravery or the brief solidarity forged with a former adversary. Cavendish and Rudge's ultimate sacrifice will be echoed by thousands of others for a long time to come in what became known as the Great War.
Fade to black. The end.